You put money in your savings account, you feel responsible, you feel safe, but while you sleep tonight, something is quietly eating it. Not a hacker, not a fee, something older and far more invisible. Inflation. Right now, if your savings account pays you 1% interest and inflation is running at 4%, you are not gaining 1%, you are losing 3% of your real purchasing power every single year. Economist Irving Fisher called this the difference between the nominal rate and the real rate. The number in your account goes up. What that number can actually buy goes down. Those are two completely different things, and most people never separate them. Here is a number that makes it concrete. In 1990, $1 could buy what costs roughly $2.50 today. That money did not get stolen in one dramatic moment. It disappeared slowly, quietly, a fraction of a cent at a time, across thousands of ordinary days. This is what economists call the inflation tax. It is not a line on your tax return. Nobody voted on it. But it functions exactly like a tax, because it transfers purchasing power away from people who hold cash and toward governments and borrowers who benefit when the value of money falls. Nobel Prize-winning economist Milton Friedman spent decades explaining this mechanism. He argued that inflation is always and everywhere a monetary phenomenon, meaning it happens when more money chases the same amount of goods. When central banks expand the money supply faster than the economy grows, each existing dollar represents a slightly smaller share of the total. Your savings did not change, the denominator did. Behavioral economist Richard Thaler identified something that makes this even harder to fight. He called it money illusion. Your brain is wired to evaluate money by its face value, not its real value. A 3% raise feels like a win, even when inflation is 5%. You are actually earning less in real terms, but the bigger number triggers a reward response. Evolution did not build you to intuitively understand purchasing power erosion across decades. It built you to respond to visible, immediate changes. So what does inflation actually steal? It steals time. Every dollar you earned required minutes or hours of your life. When inflation erodes that dollar, it is not just money that disappears. It is the portion of your life you traded to earn it. The people who protect themselves understand one core principle. Money sitting still moves backward. Assets that produce income, grow in value, or are tied to real-world prices tend to move with inflation or ahead of it. Cash savings, unless earning a real positive return above the inflation rate, do not. You woke up this morning with a certain amount of money. You did nothing wrong. You spent nothing. And yet, silently, the purchasing power of that money is fractionally smaller than it was yesterday. That is not an accident. That is the system working exactly as designed. The question is not whether inflation is happening. It is whether your money is moving faster than it.